Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. So I was thinking this time last year I was applying for graduate jobs and I was successful and I got one in about February 2022, which I signed a contract for and I'm currently working with now. So I thought this would be the perfect time to do a tips and tricks kind of video for anyone out there looking for a graduate job at the moment. Or I thought if you're in second and first year and you're watching this, well done, you are literally ahead of the game. Like, I was definitely not thinking about what job I was going to have in that year. And as a third year, if you're watching this, now's about the time to like start having a little think about it, having a little look online, and hopefully my tips and tricks can help you get the job that you want ready for when you finish uni. Because it was such a good feeling having something lined up ready before I'd even done my final exams. Obviously a lot of the jobs are on the contract of if you get the grades, but just knowing something was there waiting really did take the pressure off. So I do recommend getting it done early and applying for some stuff before you start your exams. So the first part of the video I'll explain how I got my grad job, and then I'm going to be answering the questions you left me on Instagram. If you don't already follow me, give me a follow. So to start off the process of looking for a job, because it is quite daunting, I think it was around this time, maybe end of November, and I had a little chat with my supervisor at first. Hopefully you have one of these at your uni, and if you're from Uni of York, I know you definitely do. It was just a great chat to have to get the ball rolling. She made me start thinking about things early, and she kind of asked me what my interests were within my course and outside the course, and then we tried to like combine the two and generate a job. She actually suggested job titles for me that I'd literally never even knew was a job. So that was definitely a good start, and it gets your mind thinking about like the bigger picture and what else is out there rather than like your typical jobs. There are so many things behind the scenes that I just didn't know about. So yeah, going to someone that kind of knows their stuff when it comes to getting a job in your subject is a great start. So first point of call is supervisor or someone that you're close to within like your academic area. And then I went to the University of York's career advisor. So she was really good at making me aware of medical companies I was unsure of. Obviously this is like medical job related for me because that was my course, but if you're into psychology or geography, I'm sure there's all different companies based around that area that these career advisors can point you in the direction of. My top tip here when setting up a meeting with a career advisor or a supervisor is doing a little bit of background research yourself first. So actually letting them know in advance what areas you're looking for, because this then gives them the opportunity to in advance have a look for you, so they can then turn up to the meeting with hopefully some ideas rather than you wasting some of the meeting time on trying to like decide what you want to do, or not decide what you want to do, but decide your areas. I definitely didn't know what I want to do, and also I still don't know what I want to do, so no pressure if you don't know what you want to do. I said want to do too much there. But yeah, just go to the meeting a little bit prepared, and also preparing them in advance I think can be really helpful. Yeah, maybe just spend like an hour researching yourself before your meeting so that then you can come with questions to the meeting. But leaving the careers meeting was great. I came away with like an A4 piece of paper full of companies I'd never heard of that I should then go and research and look at their vacancy on the website, or even job titles that I never knew existed that could be something that suited me. Things that came up for me personally, in case you're interested in the same thing as I was, were scientific writers, communications in medicine, medical PR relations, medical journalists was one as well. I think also remembering that whilst you're at uni, people at uni are employed to literally get you on the right path, and absolutely utilising those resources that are free. Well, not really free, but making the most of the resources available there to help you. And also, I know some people at Uni of York maybe didn't get the best meeting with their careers advisor, but that might just be that that advisor wasn't that good, or she maybe knew nothing about your area of subject. So if you do have a poor meeting with a supervisor or a careers advisor, don't give up, because the task is like daunting on your own. So go to another one, like email them and see if you can set up another meeting with someone that's a bit more in your area, or just someone different that might know more. So now I was kind of set up. I had a list of job titles to have a look through, and I had a list of companies to have a look through. So it is quite tedious finding a job. It took a long time and like quite a lot of website searches and stuff. For example, with the list of companies I was given for medical companies, there were people like Medtronic, GSK. So I would go on each of their websites to see if they had a careers page, and then in that careers page I would look to see if any jobs suited me. Some people don't put their jobs on gradjobs.com or LinkedIn or Indeed. They have it on their own website only. So looking on those graduate jobs websites and its specific company websites means that you probably won't miss anything. But I definitely found the most jobs on specific grad job websites. So the key websites I used was graduatejobs.com, Grad Cracker, and Indeed. I think I actually found the job I'm in on Grad Cracker. And there's loads of like filters on these websites for you to pick a city, whether you want to work from home, whether you want to be in office, the salary that you're looking for, but I think for a graduate, you shouldn't really be too picky on that. Obviously, like the area, and then you can search keywords. So these websites are amazing and they are there for you to like find the right job for you. Now, in terms of the application process for a job, it can be lengthy, but it does vary between companies. Some jobs that I applied for had like loads of boxes they wanted you to fill out. And when I say boxes, like each being maybe 250, 500 words. Now, these are quite tedious because they're probably going to ask you the same questions in the interview, but you've got to have a positive mindset on this. The best tip that I can have is literally write them once for one job and put it in a Word document, like copy and paste each box answer that you wrote into a Word document with the title of what you were answering. And then a lot of the questions in applications are the same for each job. So you can literally copy and paste then and kind of tweak it slightly to that company. So hopefully that will save you a lot of time. I think as well, when there's a question specific to like why you want to work for that company or why you want the job, really try and research something about the company specifically. If they have like an environmental mission statement where they give back something to the community, you could like go into detail about why that's important to you and how you've done something similar in the past. I think things like that make you really stand out. So I think the key to it now is just applying to as many jobs as you can that suit you. Sometimes you don't hear back from jobs, which is really frustrating, or sometimes you might hear back and you've not made it any further. So having like a big bank of applications under your belt, obviously you're more likely to end up with something then. I might do a completely separate video on interview tips if that would be helpful, because I've had a couple of interviews, one being on phone, one being Zoom, and one being in person. I got the phone call and the Zoom one. I didn't get the in-person one, but it was a really dodgy experience and I'd quite like to go through it. I'll save that for another video though. But yeah, that is kind of how I got my job. Now I'm going to answer your questions from Instagram. I feel like I've answered quite a lot of them during the video, but a couple I will just go through. So one of the questions was, how do you find a job when your subject is so wide? And I think this person does sociology. So I think I would literally just go to your department, head of department, anyone like a supervisor that you have. They are the best person to like go to. They've found a job in that area at the end of the day. So I'm sure they'll know specifically for your course where to go. If you don't already know, I think finding a few areas in the subject that you know you're interested in is a good start as well. There might be jobs in that specific field. Like for example, with biomed, there was data analysis section of biomed, there was a lab section, and then there was like communications, and I way prefer communications, so that completely narrows it down already. So hopefully those people around you can help you find a job in your course that's wide. Try and see it as a positive as well. With it being a wide course, it means there's just more options for you. So as soon as you've picked whatever it is that you're interested in, hopefully there's more choices for you out there. Another question I got was, how did you find you'd got the job? Like I said, I was in person in the interview. I was excited when they offered it to me there and then, so much so that I forgot to ask questions like salary. So I was driving away, I'd phoned my mum, she was really happy, which is such a great feeling, like getting one. And then she asked me a few questions about it and I was like, oh wait, I don't know the answer to that. So I quickly sent them an email asking some questions. I think that probably happens a lot. That's how I found out about it. And the final question I've got here, because I do think I answered most of them throughout the video, is how important is LinkedIn? I'm tempted to do a full video on LinkedIn because I think it is a really useful platform, especially since getting the job. I've seen how useful it is. I didn't actually use it to get my job. If you're struggling looking on the websites or in any of the other ways that I've mentioned, try LinkedIn. There is a lot out there, but just make sure you've fully made your profile before you like go searching for jobs and say that you're interested, because they will come and find your profile, and if it's empty then you're probably not going to get the job. I'd see LinkedIn as literally like a digital CV. It's quite complicated at first, but I think it's cool. You can reach out to new people and look at jobs on there as well. But I think because I did it without LinkedIn, you don't need it. Let me know in the comments if you want a separate video on LinkedIn or a separate video on interview tips or both. But hopefully this video has been helpful. Please like it if it was, subscribe if you're new, and thanks for watching. Good luck on your job search. I really hope it goes well, and I will see you next week with another video. Bye!